I could be in a relationship with or married right now. I could have married any one of my exes. They all wanted to marry me. But I was like, you're not it.
Yeah.
So today we are joined by a special guest, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Sarah ran a logistics company and recently sold that. Currently runs a talent agency, has been featured in Playboy Australia and Maxim Magazine, and was recently a guest on the Access Vegas podcast with Rollo Tomasi, talking about what women really look for in men. Kind of talking about how looks don't really matter as much as a lot of people like to think it does. And yeah, this is a topic that obviously we're very interested in because I think what really matters is not what most people like to think.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of Rollo Tomasi. I've read all of his books. I
know
great.
you are.
Liv can't stand Rollo Tomasi.
Why you always do that to me? I never said I can't stand him. I don't know. I'm on the fence about him.
Yes.
In person, he's a sweetheart.
I'm sure
He's
is.
really nice. Yeah.
He says a lot of very controversial stuff. I think the way he says it sometimes is intentionally inflammatory.
Exactly.
Yes.
I actually
think he
agree
thinks
with
it's-
everything he says.
yeah,
Most
he-
of the
He
things
speaks
says,
a lot of
but
truth, and a lot of it is hard truths, like for
it's
men
not-
to hear
it's-
and women
it's
to
the
hear.
delivery that I don't like. It's not the hard truth. The truth is the truth, bad or good or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, that's how Andrew Tate is too. He's a highly inflammatory individual.
Yeah.
So
So to start, let's talk a little bit about what the dating world is like out there. Like you can give some of your experiences or just in general. So what's the scene look like out there right now?
And more specifically, I think in this age demographic too, maybe the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
early 40s? You're calling me early 40s?
No, I'm not, but I think that's a lot of our demographic.
Yeah.
We're in our early 40s. And
Yeah.
we're curious.
Yeah,
what
I
it's
guess
like
I'm
out
in
there.
my mid to late 30s at this point. I feel like it's been kind of, or has been, a shit show in the past, especially living in California, living in Orange County, where I like to call the men out there Peter Pans, the never f***ing grow up boys, where they just...
Is it like that everywhere? I don't know.
Not in Florida.
No? Oh, interesting.
I know. I don't know if it's in middle America. I feel like it's a little different either. People have more traditional values and they're more inclined to be married and have a family and things like that. But if you have a constant influx of very beautiful women in these places, why would they ever grow up? You can just fuck the next one next weekend or have multiple partners and then just lie about it and get away with it. And you're just very easily replaceable. And that doesn't mean you're not a high value woman, because I feel like I meet a lot of these girls and they're good women, but they get used by men. So that's Orange County. Orange County dating, Sacramento.
And you just recently moved to Florida.
Yeah, I moved there in August. I was actually not intending to move to Florida, but I stopped for a minute and I really liked it. And then I never left. So,
And the climate's totally different there.
oh my God, yeah. It's super humid there, which I love because my skin always just like
I meant the
constantly
dating climate.
What kind of climate are you talking about?
So you are a model.
I am a model. I say dumb shit sometimes. I forgot that we were talking about dating for a second.
It's all good. It's all
Anything you want to
good.
know about Florida, I'm here to help you with that as well.
She loves all things Florida. She'll talk about the weather and the men.
Yeah. I
Love
like
it.
seeing men in humid climates, barely.
Yes.
Okay.
But the dating climate is very different.
I would say so. I haven't really done it extensively. I've only been talking to just one person, and he's been great.
Nice.
So I've never had that experience in Orange County, like ever.
Okay.
So, and in Sacramento, it was like dumpster diving. So
Sorry, Sacktown guys.
I'm not sorry.
That's so funny.
So
So was there a time when you were in California, did you question? I know we've kind of talked about you do think good men exist, but when you were in California, did you doubt that?
I feel like good men do exist in California. Yeah, it's not. I had some really great guy friends that I thought were like wonderful men, and I mean, didn't want to date them because they're friends and stuff. But I do think they exist. They exist everywhere, but I think they exist for the right woman. You know, I think a guy is still gonna maybe sleep around or have fun until he meets that one that special one for him.
Yeah.
When all
Somebody
rules
that's
go
worth-
out the window, when you find the right person, you have so many rules, and then you find that person, you break all of them.
Exactly.
Always the case. Always.
Same thing with certain standards that you may have or rules for who you want to date. You meet that person that's like, I don't know what it is about this person,
Right.
but I really like them. You know, I want to see where this goes.
Yeah. That is something. Yeah. When you meet the one that you actually end up wanting to like build a life with and put roots down with, suddenly the stuff that you've written other people off for, you're like, actually, that stuff doesn't
I don't
actually
mind the way
matter.
he chews, actually.
Right.
Fine. We can work on it.
Yes. So what is your definition of a good man? And do you think it differs from what other women are looking for?
Is there a difference also between good man and high value man?
I feel like for me, I feel like or high value and a good man are kind of the same thing. I feel like what I look for in a man is slightly different than what I've known other of my girlfriends to want. Like one of the reasons I left Orange County is it's very materialistic there, and all the girls I was meeting like, oh, I need to find a rich man. I need to find a rich man, and it's like throwing themselves at these men with money, and it's like. Yeah, if he has money, then that's a perk or whatever, but it's definitely not the key to a happy relationship or what I look for. I'd rather have someone with like a really good heart. Obviously, some money is still needed because it's expensive.
Well, you need money to survive.
You need money to survive, but
Yeah, you're too old to believe on living on love.
no. But do they need to have a private jet? No.
No, they
Right.
don't.
No. Do they need to be making, I don't even know, $500,000? No, either. Like a comfortable house and whatever.
Right.
For a nice life, but it's not like I need to be jetting off to Paris every other weekend, you know?
Yeah.
Just want a good relationship. That's all I want. So
Yeah.
for me, that's what I'm looking for. Someone with a good heart, someone's honest and kind, you know, and loyal. So when I was dating in Orange County summer prior to last, I would get DMs from other girls, and they'd be like, "Are you dating this guy?" And I'd be like, "That's funny. Yes, actually I am." And she's like, "Well, I'm dating him. I've been dating him for months." And I was like, "So sorry. Probably should talk to him in that right now." Like that happened quite a few times. So.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
just to, okay, I don't want to be, I'm not on anybody's side here, but if somebody doesn't tell you that they're exclusive with you, do you assume that they are? I'm just curious how it works.
I don't assume. I didn't assume in Orange County. I assumed that
Right.
everyone was a bunch of fuckboys and that they probably were talking to other people. But where I had a problem with it is when I talked to the one guy that I was seeing, and I was like, "Did you tell her that you were exclusively seeing her?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I didn't tell her I wasn't seeing anybody else." And it's like, well, then you need to be honest with her. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore because I kind of think you're a prick now. But you should at least be honest with her because her feelings are very hurt at this point.
So it's more like there's no actual like honesty. I'm not saying I am not exclusive with you, but I'm just like letting it just be there.
It's like the wild, wild west. No one cares about anyone's feelings whatsoever. And here's the thing too. If you want to just casually see someone, just say it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like some girls are into that, or they were not going to get their feelings as hurt. If you're like, oh, well, I'm just not really looking for something serious right now, then that's on her. To proceed forward, you know.
Maybe they're just like, if you're not going to ask, I'm not going to tell.
That's what I was
don't
trying to
ask,
say,
don't
but I
tell.
couldn't find my words. Yeah, so like it's like lying is not necessarily telling the lie, is like hiding the truth.
Yeah.
So if I'm not going to be specifically telling you, hey, I'm seeing other people, it's still kind of a lie. I'm kind of leading you on, you know? That's why I was asking. Like if somebody just dates you and you assume that they're dating you exclusively, that doesn't make it right if they're not actually dating you exclusively, but not specifically telling you, hey, I am not dating you exclusively.
Yeah, but everyone has a different set of moral values as well.
That's true.
For them, they'd be like, well, obviously I'm only seeing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Right.
other people don't think that way.
It's not obvious. No, this is a conversation that you have to have. You know, like
Yeah,
I'm
at what
not
point do you have it?
at the very beginning, in my opinion, right? If I'm going to see other people, as soon as I meet you, I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm seeing other people.
Exactly.
It's not going to be exclusive.
Yeah. I'm not the type of person to see several people at once, though. Like, I just,
Right.
I don't want to.
Right.
What about when you were younger, like in your early 20s or agency years? Yeah, see, that's where things change. Yeah, because that's when it seems like when women are younger, their agency years, 18 to 28 time frame, they are seeing multiple.
What
guys.
are
They
agency years?
That the around years.
Okay.
You know,
But I
and-
just wanted to specify because not
and-
everybody knows what that means.
But yeah, when women are young, beautiful, they're worth the whole
Top of the
board.
game,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know that you've heard the analogy: women are born with $100, men have to earn $100. By the time men hit 40, they're well established in their career, they have money, they have the little peppered gray. All of a sudden, they're George Clooney looking.
Right.
And they're high value. But they were zero value when they were 20 years old. And the women in their same age group, they weren't dating them. They were dating the George Clooney lookalike guy that had the money and success and everything. And they were there in their agency years, and they weren't interested in settling down, getting married. They just want to have fun. Then the roles reverse. And then they get a little older, and they want every man, they're trying to settle down. They want to know, are you seeing other people? Those guys are now having the time of their life because the roles have finally switched, and they did not get married. These are the people that chose purposely not to get married. And they are living the free agent lifestyle.
Yeah. I didn't purposely choose not to get married, though. I think in my 20s, maybe I did a little bit, but I think I was with the wrong guy. And if you're with the wrong guy, it's like, well, I don't want to get married, but it has something, I just didn't want to get married to him.
Yeah.
Right. So were you dating multiple men, right? That was the question, Josh? In her agency years, if she was dating multiple men without telling them that she was dating multiple men?
There was two different times. I think when I was like 25, I was dating multiple men. And then again when I was 30. But I wasn't sleeping with all of them either.
But that's not the point. Were you open with them that they are not exclusive? You are not exclusive with them.
Absolutely not.
So I just think that's where the rules of
But I didn't value them either in that way. Like I didn't respect
these men
them.
are not valuing the women that we
They're
do.
not.
No.
Yeah, that's the
Like it wasn't had anything to do with their how successful or how attractive they were either. Because I feel like each one of those men were successful and attractive. Like if I could rate them, they'd be probably like 8s, 9s. But I just wasn't in a place like mentally for that to settle down, I guess. Those 2 different years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you think women in general would judge a man as being like not good enough for them or not good enough to settle down with if he's either less educated and or makes less money than they do at least?
I think generally speaking, as a whole, from the women that I've talked to, that is correct. For me, it's not. But then you have to look at, well, you're approaching 40 and you're single. Like, is that really that important to you that he has a master's or a bachelor's degree while you're sitting alone, with whatever, no offense to having cats, with your cat? I had a girlfriend who was like, I'm not dating anyone who's like doesn't have a master's. The girl is still single.
Yeah.
Like,
does she have a master's?
She has a master's.
She has a master's.
Yeah. And it's like, well, you need to have a little bit more grace. Like a man is so much more than just a piece of paper that he went to school to prove that he could sit in a fucking classroom for however long it takes to get a master's degree, like 6 years. I don't know.
Yeah, 6 years.
No, exactly.
For me, I'm still going. The thought's there.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting because a lot of women, not across the board, not to make overgeneralizations, but a lot of women do have more opportunity to go to school for that longer amount of time. Maybe we have help from parents. Maybe we're okay living at home longer. Whatever the case may be, there's more scholarships for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So we don't always have the same opportunity. Also, a lot of the careers that do require masters are much more like they're white collar, So I think, just to rule out a man just because he doesn't have a college degree, especially a higher level college degree, it just seems like
I would
like we're just doing a disservice to humanity, really, to put that kind of value on a piece of paper. And like Josh said, the ability to sit in the classroom for 6 years.
Yeah.
So that man doesn't have college debt. He's probably a lot more financially savvy. There's a lot to be said for that too. Maybe a guy makes $500,000 a year, but if he doesn't know how to keep a balance and he's running a lot of debt and all that, like all it takes is maybe a unexpected career shift or something like that, and you guys could be up shit creek real fast.
Yeah, and do you still want to be with that person after the finances are gone?
Yeah.
And if you do, then that's the person for you.
Yeah.
I would rather choose a capable man over an educated man.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. Like, can you, I don't know, help me with something that I need helping with that I can't do for myself? That doesn't mean like change a tire, but maybe I have a problem like, I don't even know what sort of problem I could have.
Right.
But, something.
Yes.
And can you help me with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
I never read that book, but you were talking about a book you read recently.
Yes, Just Marry Him by Lori Gottlieb. I think I don't remember the entire title, but it's Just Marry Him and something about settling. And she was talking about, so she's, I think in her 40s, she's been dating, she lives in New York City, and she's been dating all her life. And now she's trying to find a man to settle down, and she can't find that man anymore. And she, in the book, she interviews a lot of professionals like relationship therapists and psychiatrists and matchmakers. And they're all talking about how women have this huge list of demands from men that have nothing to do with real life and partnership, and how they'll just never find someone because they're looking for, of course, the tall guy, the rich guy, the handsome guy. Like, how many people are like that? They're not paying attention to the actual values that you need to have a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Like the masters is not going to help you with anything in relationship. If the guy has a master's, this doesn't mean he knows how to communicate. It doesn't mean that he knows how to love you or do things for you or tell you a sweet, kind word when you need it. It means nothing. That shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah. I feel like we were just watching a video or something like the last week about the matchmaker that was like pulling her hair out.
Right.
She said, I can't do this anymore because the women are never happy
It's
with no matter
impossible.
what you find.
It's impossible. Like, you give them like, and I don't know why. I think it's because women are born, like you say, they're born with options. So once you're born with options, you think like the whole world is like your oyster. So like, here I am sitting down and making my precious list, you know? But at the end of the day, you find the guy that has everything on the list. And we saw that in another YouTube video. You find the guy that has everything on the list, you're still not going to like him.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it's all about.
You could have everything on the list of 100 things, but not be 6 feet tall. And
Right,
you're like,
right.
Forget that.
No, but even if you find everything, if that list is superficial, then at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Like Sarah said, yeah, he's going to take me to Paris. He's going to buy me jewelry. He's going to do all these things. He has a master's degree. He has it all. But then, am I really happy? Something's really missing, right?
No.
Because you're not focusing on the values. What do you need from a partner?
I would rather go to In-N-Out with a guy I really liked or that I'm really into or
Right.
that I loved than go to a 5-star Michelin restaurant.
Well, first
Right.
of all,
And
it is In-N-Out. I would rather go to In-N-Out than any restaurant.
Oh, okay. Okay, Taco Bell.
All right, that's true.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, someplace I don't really like. I'll go there.
Yeah.
Actually, I have done shit that I don't really like doing because I like the guy. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I think it's dumb, but I like you.
Yeah. Rather do life with somebody you enjoy hanging out with.
Yeah, I want to laugh.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I want to make fun of people.
Yeah. So I'm curious, how many people do you see that are dating a person or like picking a partner based on what they think other people will think of him? Like, I hear so many women like putting such a high value on, he needs to be at least 6 feet tall. He needs to be handsome. Like, how many people do you think are ruling somebody out because their friends wouldn't go for him, or just society, maybe parents wouldn't approve? Like,
I don't really run in a crowd where me nor any of my friends care what anyone else thinks.
okay.
So, and I've never really cared what my parents think. It's like, I mean, I love them dearly,
Right.
but it's like, you don't like this about me? Well, sorry. Like, I like him. So, for better or worse, for the next, I don't know, 3 months till I get ghosted. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you've been a model for a long time, run talent agencies, modeling agencies, all this
Yeah.
stuff. So you're around these women, gorgeous women, some of the most gorgeous women on earth, probably. All the
I would
time.
say, yeah. And I've discovered that beautiful women have the worst relationships. Like,
Really?
I don't know what it is, but normal girls like have pretty decent relationships. But the models are just like, oh, he did this and da da da, and he cheated on me. It's like, who the fuck would cheat on you?
I think I know why they have bad relationships, because it's just like I don't know if you've ever dated a guy that is really, really handsome but actually not very nice person. It's the attention. You get so much attention, and you get all these things like gifts and
Love bombing.
and you confuse the things that a person gives you to that person being a kind person.
yeah.
You're superficial because your life as a model is a superficial life. It's all about looks. And people are going to choose you for that. They're not going to choose you for your heart. They're not going to choose you for who you really are.
That's
And
true.
Those people are not good people to have in your... They're not there to have a partnership in a relationship with you. They're just there to enjoy you for whatever amount of time. And you're there for the same reason.
I mean, I agree with you on that, actually, because I feel like men have not given me a fair chance. Or actually, I've had this happen 2 or 3 separate times where a man has gotten to know me and been like, you're the relationship type. I was not expecting that. I want to fuck around. And it's like,
Oh, wow.
then, or I'll
Ouch.
just get ghosted and come back a year later. Like, when I'm ready for a relationship, it's like, well, you had your chance,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think
ship sailed.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. So, because they look at me and they think, oh, well, she's just really shallow, or
That's what I wanted to say. It's nobody's fault, but when I look at a model, if I'm go out and date models, male or female, I'm not going to look for the relationship. If I want to date a model, I'm going to look for the fun. I want them to look good, and I want them to know how to have a good time. I'm not really interested in their personality. And that's the reality of it. It's
I
sad,
am a
but
good
that's
time.
what it is.
But also, I can cook, and I like cooking, and I like cleaning. I'm very traditional, like, to my core.
Yeah.
So, and once people see that, it's almost like, this is not what I'm looking for right now.
Right.
You know, and it's exit stage left to whoever.
So the secret is for you to hide what you're really doing. I wouldn't tell people if I want to fight, because like, there you go. It's just like, don't say it.
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
So do you think that, so clearly most people in your industry are just looking for like fun, right? It's like a quick relationship, like one after the other. It's not, is it really like relationship that they're looking for, or just dating?
My girlfriends that are models, no, they're looking for a relationship.
They are
They're
looking.
just like anybody else. And,
Okay.
and most of them, not all, most of them are just sweethearts. They're good girls, you know?
Right.
They just get looked at the wrong way.
Right. And the men that they find, are they looking for a relationship? No,
No.
that's the problem.
Or they do, and they get cheated on and, I don't know, treated like an object, I suppose, which in a way, I suppose a model is in a way. So,
Right. So is it like safe to assume that nowadays men just don't want to be monogamous anymore?
well, I would say depending on the area that you live in, yes.
What about age too? Quantify, like, what age group of men are we talking about that are interested?
Okay,
Right.
so
I assume, I'm making a huge assumption, but I think younger men
no.
would want the relationship, you know, the puppy loves real to puppies thing.
You
But-
think they would want it?
Yeah, but after being burned a few times on, you know, bad relationships, whatever, they get calloused. Then after that, they're like, screw this. Or after a divorce, you know, you go through a divorce or whatever, you're like, I'm never doing that again.
I mean, I was in a relationship most of my 20s, so I can't really speak for men in their 20s. And then when I was dating in my 20s, I was dating a man that was 10 years older than me because I thought he was mature. So I was very wrong. Yeah, anyway. What was the question? I completely forgot.
So I was asking if in the dating world you find that it's hard to find a man that is interested in monogamy.
Oh, no, it's not hard to find. No, it's do I want that man?
Okay.
You know, because at any age, I still feel like a woman has options, you know, regardless of what social media or anybody is saying. Like, I could be in a relationship with or married right now. I could have married any one of my exes. They all wanted to marry me. But I was like, you're not it.
Yeah, that was not the guy. Okay.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like there is a lot of good men that do want that.
So there's not a lack of men that want monogamous relationships. There's a lack of good men that you would be interested in.
I guess, do I want that man, you know? And for
Yeah.
me, if I'm willing to go out of my way for a man, to me, I'm like, oh man, I really like this guy. If I'm willing to drive like an hour or something to see him or do something thoughtful, or I don't even know. Also, I feel like I want to go back to something you said about how why women are single, like in their like early 40s,
Yeah.
late 30s. I feel like women come up with this list, and you were talking about the list of all these different things they want in a man, but they haven't made a list of who they are as a person and what they can offer that person. Because it's like, okay, I want this 6-foot jacked dude, and it's like,
They don't look in the mirror. at
honey,
themselves.
yeah.
We talk about that all the time.
How much value are you bringing to the
Yeah,
table?
what are you bringing to this man's life where you're going to add value to him, you know? And you're just demanding this. Like, why the fuck would he settle down with you? Like, just no.
No.
Yeah,
You
that's a
see-
great point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screenshots all over social media. People take of like Tinder, you know, profiles where these women are overweight with 4 kids, and they're saying you better be 6 feet and make 6 figures. And
Yeah.
But God forbid you like make a sandwich.
Understand that my children will always come before you.
Yeah. And you better be their
Wait,
daddy.
Yeah, so it's like, so why, as a man, I would look at that and be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, what are you going to do for him? You know?
Yeah,
Because if he's going
exactly.
to provide all this for you, like, you need to be equal. And some, not equal as a man, but like,
You need to bring as much to the relationship
As he does.
you need to bring stuff that's as high value to the relationship as what you're expecting him to bring.
not the same set of things.
Right.
But
exactly. As high value to him as what the things he's bringing into the relationship are to you.
We were just watching this YouTube video. What's that about the guy? I'll just summarize it. He was talking about women saying that all men, these women have commitment issues. And he gave an analogy. Do you know who it was? What's his name?
I think it's
Dr.
Psych Hacks, Dr. Orion something.
Yeah, anyway.
We can link it.
We'll link the video in this, but it was brilliant. He said that, women had told him before that he had commitment issues. Like, it's not commitment issues. It's just that your offer for the relationship wasn't good enough. He's like, if somebody offers me an offer for employment and it's not the deal I want, they don't tell me you have job commitment issues or employment.
It sounds like it's the same for women because Sarah just said there's plenty of men that want monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
She doesn't have commitment issues.
So you're still
you're
saying
not good enough.
Yeah, you're saying there's plenty of men, good men that want to have monogamous relationships, but you're also saying that there's all these wonderful girls that are single. So where's the disconnect here? Their offer is not good enough for these girls?
Women's standards are too high in some things. And also, the men I'm talking about, the good men, like my lifestyle may not. I look at that man's lifestyle, I'm like, does that mesh up? Like, what do you do on the daily? Like that I'm going to be like, this isn't a struggle. Like, do you go to the gym every day? I'm going to the gym every day.
Right.
Like I work hard. Like, what's your work ethic like? So I look at the lifestyle of a man and be like, that's really not going to work for me. And it's not to say that this man isn't working hard or blah, maybe he doesn't want to live where I want to live, So that's another thing where I'm like, okay, these are good men, but that's not my man.
So the model dating material is not interested in being monogamous. That's what I'm hearing. So the guy that is not really matching with your standards wants to be monogamous, but the guy that matches with your standards does not want to be monogamous. It's hard to pin him down. He wants to date all the models instead of just the special one.
I think maybe that's just men in general. I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe some of the men that I have, but then that's why I said what I said. Once they get to know me, they're like, oh,
okay. Yeah.
big wrong. This woman makes me lobster. That's not what I was expecting.
So would you ever consider a polyamorous relationship if you met a man that was like everything that you were looking for, like relationally, like you guys just like connect? And do you think your friend, like other women, if polyamory was like societally accepted and normalized, and if polygamy was legal, like you could be more than the forever side piece. If you actually met a man that was what you wanted, he was already married, but you could also be his wife. Like, is that?
For me personally, I could not. I'm a very jealous person. I love you all very dearly. I couldn't do it myself. A lot of my friends have done it, and I think it's more accepted than you guys think it is. I knew more people that were into that in Southern California than were not. I knew people that had a third partner for years, and it worked out very nicely, or people that were more in the swinger community that were doing swinger things, which I guess is sleeping around with everybody. I'm not
like
sure.
open relationship.
Open relationship, or the guy would have a steady girlfriend, which was probably the most popular thing, or wife, and then they would go to these swinger clubs and have an extra girl. Sorry.
Yeah, but the people that you do that were doing something similar to us, did they live together, or was it always just the girlfriend was always on the side, like she had her own
Like
place?
the girlfriend was still kind of living a single life?
No, there's a couple situations where there was a third party that was living there. Yeah, so and it seemed to work out fine. So that's where I'm thinking that it's not really as taboo as people think.
I think it is. I mean, it is very taboo because no one wants to come out and talk about it.
Right.
Everybody's doing it, or the people that are doing it are being very closeted and quiet about it.
That's crazy to me because everyone's like switching genders and doing all sorts of other weird shit, and you can't have an extra partner.
I know, but that's the say. Like, it's very demonized.
We seem to be the only ones out there, and everybody's like throwing darts at us, and nobody's like, "Hey, I'm doing it too," So,
well, I think
that's
too,
wild
we're kind of lumped together with the people that are like changing genders and all that. It's like, yeah, this is not the same. This is not that. No, like this is a very traditional relationship still.
I don't see why this would be demonized, and you have a man who's sleeping with 10 different people and telling no one. Yeah. And that's not demonized. That's to most people.
That's monogamy.
Well, no.
It's okay. In monogamy, it's okay. But did you see our Halloween episode? We're very demonized. We belong on a cross.
I'm just saying I don't understand why some things are demonized when it's very like, hey, this is no party is unhappy with this situation right now.
Right.
So why is it being demonized?
It's very ethical.
So, but meanwhile, you have like somewhere else where a girl is getting her feelings hurt or a man is getting his feelings hurt, and that's not demonized. Like if a man's sleeping with multiple women, then he's a high value man or something. I'm not sure, you know.
Yeah.
But if a woman's sleeping with a bunch of men, that's not very good. So
No, that's yet another story. Yeah. I don't know why this is happening, but like for some reason, just the idea of having more than one partner openly, it's bad. And we were talking about it, like I think it was the jealousy episode with our guest, and we were talking about how it's okay to cheat, right, in monogamy. Like you're doing it all the time. People do it all the time, and it's not condoned, but at the same time, it's accepted by society. Like this happens.
Yeah.
But then when you choose to have like this alternative type of relationship where you have more than one partner openly, like it's just so bad. It's why is it
people
so bad?
don't want real and authentic in this world. They want fake and filtered.
There you go.
Yeah. So where are all the good men?
Are they in Florida?
Yeah, everyone should move to Florida.
That's the title of this video. All the women that clicked on this want to know right now, what's the secret? Where
First of all, don't go to Miami.
Like, that's my area. Don't cut in on my territory. Cooking lobster's my bit too. Don't take that.
I go out, I catch it, I bring it back.
And what a woman.
Just kidding. I get seasick. I can't do that. I go to the grocery store.
Could you imagine? You're on a date. You go to the beach. The girl's in her bikini. So I'll be right back. Jumps in the ocean. Comes back out with 2 lobsters out. Come on, we're gonna go cook it.
I'll be
I'm like, hold on, I gotta stop at the jewelry store for an engagement ring.
Lobster at Tiffany's.
If that would get me a ring, let me swim with you.
That's so funny. Yes.
So I have a question for you, Sarah. Is there any chance that your list of demands from partner is not realistic? What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Why you don't think so?
Because I probably should put more on my list.
Okay.
List.
You don't have a list.
So you don't have a list. Maybe that's
I mean,
the
I
problem.
do. I
Yeah.
have general guidelines and
Okay.
principles. But as far as like sitting down and making a list, like number one for me on this list that I do not have is kindness. Like I want someone that is kind and accepts me for me. Because I think at my core, I'm just not a very cool person. I say a lot of really dumb shit all the time. I just want my partner to be like, wow, you're really beautiful. You know, someone that's kind accepts me for me, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I've been that lucky in the past, you know. And then I want someone that has a similar lifestyle as I do. I want someone that works out with me. You know, I want someone to go on walks with. I love going on walks. I go on walks every day. And I will die going on walks. Like, I love that. I want someone to come and do that with me every day. I could not get my ex to walk with me to save his life. And that's why he was fat. That's why I love that one.
Yeah.
Just a few steps a day will keep the pounds away.
Well, and you said that your love language is quality time, right? Like we were talking.
100%.
So just that walk, like you're getting physical exercise, you're getting some sunshine, and you're getting like a few minutes of quality conversation.
Yeah, I don't.
Uninterrupted, no screen time.
Yeah, I don't care about gifts. I really don't. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about gifts whatsoever. Also, I'm terrible at giving gifts. So if someone was to give me a gift, I'd be like, I gotta go. What do I buy it?
me.
You know? I'm just like, here, I know for a fact I've always been really terrible at gifts because I got my ex's gifts and they'd be like, thank you. I'm like, hope you love it.
Okay,
If you don't, here's the gift receipt.
what are the things you need in a man, like career-wise? Like, what's he?
As long as a man is doing what he's supposed to be doing in life and he feels like he's kind of fulfilling his purpose, I think that's important. Whatever that is and whatever that looks like for him.
How about looks-wise?
Look,
Physical attributes. What is?
I've never really stuck to a certain type. I obviously want him to be pretty fit and at least taller than me. So when I throw on a pair of heels. I don't wear heels very often, but
There's the height. Yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem because like most women want tall men.
but I
and
don't.
hard.
It's not a deal breaker for me either.
Right. Okay.
So,
So, personality will take over.
Yeah, I've dated
Yeah.
a guy that was 5'7", who's my height.
Yeah.
I'll just wear chucks, like whatever.
Right.
Like
As
it's
long as
fine.
he's not insecure about
Yeah.
you being taller.
Yeah,
Because
no,
that
I
says
don't
a
care.
lot. Like, yeah, because there are some men that you're around them and like, you're really tall. You're like, I'm not going to go out with a guy that You're uncomfortable with me being tall.
Right. So you are flexible about your needs in this.
Yeah,
man.
no,
Like,
it's
there's-
fine.
Yeah. Okay. So that to me is a secret for success, a recipe for success.
If you look at it, the whole person, people have green
Right.
weights and they have, red weights or whatever. And
Right,
for your list of what you're interested in, it's like, well, maybe they don't have the
Yeah.
height, but they've got you're funny. They make you feel
So your
good.
list is very realistic. Like it's like very doable. So I think you would have a very high chance of finding your perfect match.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just started dating a couple months ago.
Have you tried ChristianMingle.com?
Do I have to pull my little computer out?
Probably get on that site. You probably have to plug the internet into the wall.
That's why I'm single.
So my point with this question is like, it's like from what we are talking, like you have a point. Where are the good men? Like clearly she's not having unrealistic expectations and she's open and she's gorgeous and she's successful and she wants to find a good man who says you want him to be kind. That's the main quality, like that's what you want. Somebody who gets you, understands you. And at the end of the day, even if you have problems, they're kind.
Yeah. Put
So
up with
where
my
are
annoying
the good
things.
men? Do they exist?
Yeah, I think they do exist.
Okay, where are you guys? Sarah's looking for a good man. A kind one.
I think it takes two to find a good relationship.
Yeah.
So I think you need let's take a good hard look at yourself and what you offer, and then have higher standards for yourself. And then once you start valuing yourself, and then that other high value person is going to meet you there.
Have higher standards for yourself as far as what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, like I got out of my relationship January before last. So I've been single for almost 2 years. Okay. That first year I took off, I would wake up 2 hours before I had to go to work every day. I would walk to this bench and I would meditate and I would read and I would work on myself and how do I make myself a better person? How do I heal myself? And so I wasn't doing this. So when I do meet a guy, later on down the road, I'm healthy. It was more like, I need to become the best person right now for me.
Yeah.
So become that healthy person from the inside out. And offer not just the dating for the dating world, but the people in your life, like your family. Like, are you a good person just outside of that? Be genuine, be authentic, be that person, and then find that person to meet you there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my experience with dating because I feel like we're very similar. I've always also had a very flexible list of demands, and I wanted a good person first and foremost, and I wanted somebody that I can spend time with. Somebody that can, even if they're not into the same thing, like walking, like you were saying, let's say I love to walk, and even if they're not into walking, they will do it because they want to spend time with me, and I would do the things that would make them happy.
Yeah.
And I found it very, very hard to find a man like that. For some reason, I don't know if it's different now, but for some reason, men don't put any value on that. They wine you and dine you at the beginning of the relationship, and once they get you, they don't think they have to put any effort in. I found that a lot.
Which happens, and then that's why women are like, I don't feel like you really appreciate me, which is the
Right.
number one complaint I hear from women is I'm not appreciated.
There you go. Now you think you have me. You no longer have to work for this relationship, which is having a relationship is an ongoing work. It's like you wake up every day and you think, okay, this my partner wants me to do this to make them happy, and I'm going to put in the effort and do it. And I found it hard to find men that actually did that. I'm not saying they're all like that, but most of them, they are not raised in they're not taught to do that in a relationship. They just don't know how to be like that in a relationship.
But we're living in a world now where you can educate yourself.
Yes, we do. So that's why this is maybe 10 years back what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking maybe now it's different, but I also had a hard time finding a man that's going to be that for me, even if they didn't feel like it. Be my partner.
Yeah. No.
Don't you think that a lot of women are the same, especially if they're in a relationship where they're not seeing this as going forever? Like they're not willing to change certain things.
I don't know.
About
I'm
themselves.
talking from my perspective, because we're talking about men, where are the good men? I'm talking from my perspective, I found it hard. Even if they were good and they were kind and they had all of that. But when it came to working on keeping the ongoing interest and the connection in the relationship, they didn't do that. And I don't know if it's because they didn't. I think it's because they didn't know how to do that. I think nobody taught men to do that.
That's possible. Yeah. But when a man realizes the woman that's actually gone then he's like, oh,
Yeah, but that's usually too late, right? Because usually the women give little notifications about like, hey, I'm not happy, and they don't take the woman seriously. And then when she finally has enough and leaves, they're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
When a woman stops telling you she's upset,
that's when you're in trouble.
That's when you're in trouble.
Yep, that's when she's done.
I was like, because I think probably 6 months or 8 months before I ended my long 10-year relationship, he'd be talking to me about stuff, and I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, oh, I'm sorry,
That's
you're upset. Like, and then I wouldn't come to him about anything. I'm like, this man's never going to change. Like, he's not going to go back to the gym. He puts his cheese puff thing on his belly. Like,
so I see you gave him plenty of opportunities. I gave him
opportunity. So my mind was breaking up with him far before I was like, we're done.
Yeah. That's true. I did read that in plenty of psychology books. Your female partner broke up with you way before you found out.
It's more he broke up with her, and she's like, "This is the decision that I have to make," you know. And the thing too, it's like, because I didn't really want to break up. I wanted it to work, you know, like, because I don't want to be single in my 30s. You know, it's a rough world out there. Like, you're lucky if you find someone that's genuine and kind, you know. Which I feel like I have been lucky, but he didn't appreciate me. So I was like, I gotta walk. I gotta do what's best for me, you know? And then I don't know if he's all coming or not. I'm not sure. So
it seems like to me that, and this is all assumptions because I'm not out there, but it seems like it would be very difficult to meet this man that you're looking for right now, because from what I understand, like a lot of people are on dating apps. Like everybody's on dating apps, but nobody's actually meeting anybody on dating apps.
Not dating apps. I mean, this is where I think I disagree with the good man thing, because I feel like social value for men and women is different, like we were saying earlier. So when a woman is young and she is beautiful, her social value is high. And then there's men, as they get older, their social value goes up and a woman's goes down.
Oh, something happened.
Sorry. See, I need a man to fix that.
There you
go. And so it kind of cross, and she loses her social value because women's, I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but woman's value is kind of in her appearance, like her beauty. And there's obviously much more to that, like what she brings to the table and things. But I don't think the good men go away when they're older. They're still there. And if anything, there's more there, you know, and that's, I feel like, what I've discovered, you know. So
I think you're right. I'd say they'd probably going to get hate mail for this, but it's not that the woman's value completely goes away, but it starts to diminish as they get older. And it's like this
value goes.
The sexual value, it's the
sexual marketplace
S&V,
value
sexual
goes
marketplace
down.
value goes down. But my analogy is it's like a game of musical chairs, and girls get in on this game, and they think the music's never going to stop. And then as they get older and older, all of a sudden the music stops. They go to try to grab a husband, and they're like, "Where's the good men at? They've been there. They were there all along, and now they're not." And they can never foresee that there could be this time ahead where it's going to start getting more challenging and difficult.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think there's plenty of good men out there, honestly.
Mom, my question was more, how do you find them? Because so you're a model, you probably get all these men trying to slide into your DMs and contact you and everything. You probably don't. So you probably ignore all that.
The dating apps aren't going to do a good job of it.
And men out in the real world, like if you're going shopping to the grocery store or whatever, even if they notice you, they probably don't have the balls to come up and just like.
Oh, I disagree. I get hit on every time I leave the house.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes they say weird shit, but
is it from the people you want though? Are these the high value that we're talking about, or?
I don't know. I don't really give them a chance, to be honest.
Well, you're not going to start a conversation with somebody who hits on you, like, "Hey, so what are you looking for in a relationship?"
I had a man come up to me last week when I was shopping, like, "You got the nicest hamstrings," and I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? That? Yeah, I don't skip hamstring day in the gym ever, but."
I think the first time Liv ever went to a Walmart when we got here, she got chased around the store
every time there's some creeper. Yeah. Don't go to Walmart, ladies.
So I go to Target like a normal person.
So you're back to this question. So how would this man that's on your list, this high value man, how would he meet you? Because you're not gonna. He can't slide to the DMs. You're not. If he hits on you at Target, you're going to run the other way.
I think I snorted laughing last time a guy did that. I hope I didn't hurt his feelings. But.
It's like, unless the man appeared in front of you at the park while you were meditating. Did you call for me?
Funny you should mention it. Why, yes, I did. I was talking to the universe or whatever the I was doing. I don't know. For me, I like dating apps personally. Okay. but there is a lot of variety. Like I think when I had Bumble, I don't think I still do. I deleted it. I had like 14 or 15,000 matches on there.
Jeez.
Wow.
So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, even at my age, 37, it's like, I have options, and then whatever. That sounds so shitty. But that's how I meet, is dating apps. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it does work.
I'm not saying it works. I mean,
There's no success yet.
What it is, I think online dating and apps and everything, it works, and it's not worse or better than meeting people in person. I think there's just a very low offer of good quality people in general, men or women.
Men or women.
And that's the reality of it. We keep talking, we're the good men, we're the good women, or whatever. But all I hear, even from our conversation, everything is very superficial. And we are superficial as human beings.
I don't think there's any superficial, like
in the sense that we're looking at, we're going for looks. We're going for like the first thing we see when you see somebody, you just look, you just
okay.
see them.
Have any of you guys read Why Women Have Sex?
No.
Okay, it's a great book. I read it because clearly I don't know why. And it's women look for a certain thing. Like the height thing is very demonized, but like if you go back, like way back when, I don't know, caveman days, women are looking for someone to take care of them. So what are those features that like command strength?
Strong.
Height, strong,
muscles,
all of these
aggression,
aggression, and then in the modern world that translates over to money. Because you don't need someone that's going to go fight off a saber-toothed tiger. You need someone to pay your rent so you can go take the kids to soccer practice or whatever people do. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I forgot the question.
There was no question. I was just saying that it's the reality is it's a very low offer of good quality people out there. Like
Men and women.
And everybody
men and
wants a
women.
better deal than
we just
they can
want.
afford.
Like you said, you're putting in the effort to become a better person, and I want to know how many people actually do that out there. They just sit and like, where are they, and why am I not finding this and this person? And the reality is, they don't exist because they're so focused on looking outside.
I feel
rather than
like
looking inside.
happiness comes from what you give other people.
Yeah.
You know? And people are so unhappy these days because they're just looking at themselves. It's me, 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 me. This is my selfie
Right.
on Instagram.
Yes.
What I
It's like,
need.
yeah, what I need. It's like, hey, I met this really cool person. How can I make this person's life
Right.
better? You know?
Yeah. I think
Like-
too, I think there's like this vicious cycle out there of people get into a relationship and it doesn't work for one reason or another. And when you're young, especially, maybe there's really good reasons, like you guys just aren't good together. But then with every broken relationship, I think it seems like the tendency is for you to become a worse and worse partner. Like you get more jaded, you put up guards. But I was watching an Esther Perel video this last week where she was talking about relationships are like a figure eight. Like they constantly feeding back into each other. So who you were and who your partner was with the last partners is not who you're going to be together. And you put good things into that partner, like good things are going to come back, but also negative things. And then what I do to you is going to get some certain response out of you back to me. And then that's going to initiate response back to you. And it just keeps going. So it's like this, you have to be like so intentional to, I think, not allow those past negative things
100%
impact negatively. Like, yeah.
Well, dating nowadays is just training for divorce, and we get so good at labeling everybody. As soon as we meet somebody, we're looking for everything that's wrong with them, and we want to label them. You're a narcissist. You're bipolar. You have all these.
We've stopped looking at the good in people.
Yeah,
You
I think when people
Looking
get
at how they're good for you.
when they get
Yeah.
hyper focused on looking at the partner and what they could do and be for you, you're putting this energy out that I'm in a state of want, a state of lack, and it's never going to come back to you. But when you stop looking,
What can I
and
give? How can I make your life better?
Or if you stop looking for the partner and start focusing on yourself, how can I be the kind of partner and attract the kind of partner
And just
that I want?
organically attracting the partner.
It
once
will
you become that
come.
person.
It'll
Yeah.
come when it's time.
Yeah. I think you have to have a good foundation for the relationship. And then I think none of us are religious, but there is certain aspects in the Bible that do have like things that I like don't be unequally yoked. Whatever that looks like for you, like the polyamorous relationship, that's your guys' like equal yoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like whatever my lifestyle is. Do you like to travel? Like, do you want kids? Like, do you want whatever it is? Like, are you equally yoked? And are you a giving person like that other person is giving? I don't think you should ever give to someone with the hopes that they're going to give something back.
100%. Yeah.
Like you give because that's what you want to do and because you love and you care, you know? And I think that's probably the good foundation for
That's the hardest thing to achieve because
And that's
we live in a world and a state of lacking.
Yeah. Well, if I love someone, I'll give them my last dollar. Like, but no questions. I'll drive Uber. This is fine. Like, yeah. And I feel like I've been lucky in life that loved people. So,
Nice.
family, relationships,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. If people want to connect with Sarah, she is on Instagram, and we will put a link in the bio.
If you're trying to slide into my DMs, it's not going to work.
Right? Yes.
Unless you're
already
the guy. Unless you're the guy, the perfect
You
man.
better be the guy. And like lobster.
And show up on the
Cooking
beach.
lobster.
Show up on the beach in front of her when she's meditating.
Or out on a walk with my dog.
Yes, yes.
I won't be paying attention. Actually, I'm going to be single forever if I'm just never paying attention. You know what? Cut that last part.
Thank you for helping to normalize alternative relationship structures by liking, subscribing, and sharing with people just like yourselves.
If you found this episode helpful, please leave a comment below.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.